The work never stops, and Michigan weather never relents. So we had a beautiful, sunny, and upper 70s, lower 80s for the most week last week. It's still warm today, but the sun is gone, the storms are coming in, and tomorrow, which is Monday, it's supposed to snow. And there is that running gag that maybe only, I don't know why all the goats are, something spooked them. They're looking over at something over there. I don't know what that was. Anyways, that old running gag that in Michigan, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. And it seems to be true, at least for us. There's got to be another state out there. It can't be just us that experiences that, but it seems to be the thing. So, and the memes go all crazy. Like on Monday, in snow pants, shoveling snow. On Tuesday, swimming in the backyard in the sun. It's just the way that it is. Anyway, enough about the weather. So it's supposed to start storming here around noon. It's about 10:30 right now. And so I'm trying to get a little bit of work done before that so that I can start working on my inside projects. But just finally ran that thing out of gas. So there's something going on with the fuel system with it. It'll run just fine, and it stalls once in a while at idle. Even if it's a mid idle, like if I've got the throttle up 30-40%, I'll be doing something off the tractor, loading something on the loader, and then all of a sudden it just dies off. So I know it needs a little bit of work, so I'm going to get new plugs for it. I'm also going to take the gas tank off. This is all going to happen after we get all this rain and snow. I don't want to do it, out here in the elements. I've been working on it to run it out of gas because I wanted to get if there was any crud or anything in there, I wanted to get it all out rather than dump a bunch of fuel into a gas tank and then, there's crud in there and then I just refill it after I've cleaned it out. So I wanted to run the system dry of gas. So I'm going to take the carburetor off, and I'm going to get a new filter for it and new plugs and probably a rotor for the distributor because that looked a little burned. There was a burn mark on the end. There's different combinations of everything, but my neighbor, Matt, has an M, and he's had his carburetor open a dozen times, so he actually worked on our other M, the carburetor. I took him the carb, and he pulled it all apart and did some cleaning on it and adjusted some things, and it ran a hell of a lot better after that. So I'm pretty much going to have him do the exact same thing with that. It didn't take him more than 5-10 minutes to go through the carb. So we'll get that all straightened up and taken care of so that when I'm driving down the road, which inevitably I'm going to have to drive down the road with this thing, I don't stall out in the middle of the road. We had so much water over the past, since the season started really. And some of the area that's out there, you can see where I've got all these railroad ties, and what I've been doing is I've been collecting the railroad ties, and I've been making a little play center. I know it seems ridiculous, making a little play center for the goats, and they absolutely love it. I've got them stacked about 3 high now, and they love playing on it, and I want to get those out of there anyways, because we're going to be bringing this pen all the way around to its old pen. You can see where the old gate is, and the old way out there you can see where the end of it is. It makes like an L shape, and so we're going to get all of that out of there so that we can, just clean everything up and make it look a lot nicer. And the goats did play on it a little bit when we did have the pen stretched all the way out, but it wasn't, everything's all at different angles and so on, so it wasn't something that they did. Now I've got it flattened out over there, and oh yeah, fun. So that is a summer project. That is not a priority project, but it's just a summer project. So anyway, I've been getting those out of there, and it's really wet down there still, and you can probably see some of the mess that I've made Like, for example, there, and it's even worse when you have 3/4 railroad ties on the front end loader. It's even worse because all that weight pushes down on those tricycles, the tricycle front end, and it just digs right in. So yesterday, or excuse me, Friday, it was a little bit drier, but then it rained yesterday, so it's kind of going back to a little bit soft. And so I'm just kind of putting around. I wanted to run it out of gas so that I could start working on that, but I was kind of putting around with leveling this off. This is where the solar stand is. I have a whole bunch of these Grape solar panels in the barn that I'm not even using. And the reason that I set the stand where I did in the front here and made it cheap out of wood that I just had laying around, and I still have a bunch of wood left over, I've got a bunch of it. The reason that I set it in this particular spot was because there used to be what looked like a compost or something. There's this big mound that came up. So I stopped right here when I was putting these panels in and just kind of built that way. Well, I've got all these panels. Instead of building further and further away from the charge controllers, I can just bring it over here and fill this in right here with another probably 20 panels or so. But I had to level it out because it was, it was one of these. So it's not perfectly level. I wasn't expecting a perfect level, but it's definitely much improved over what it was before. That's some of the dirt. I dumped a bunch of the dirt down there in some of those holes that I made with the tractor earlier, so I took a bunch of it down there. This is definitely a lot better. I was hoping to run a few times more across it, but then the tractor ran out of gas. I was kind of flattening it out right in this area, but that's fine. That wasn't meant for this work. It did actually help level it down. It was quite a bit of difference. So now I can get the wood. I got a bunch of old wood back by the old trailer. I can run it all the way across here, build myself some more panels, add to the system. Every little bit helps, right? And what I really need to get is a pallet of 250 watt panels. You can already see that I've got this mixture of panels, which everybody knows from the Genetry Solar channel, that I used what I had. I didn't care how it looked. I really don't care how it looks. It's not about beauty, it's about function. And I might be losing 10-15 watts overall with the entire system by mixing panels that are 38.6 volts open circuit versus 38.1 or something like that. Sid did the math a long time ago, and he's like, yeah, you're gonna lose maybe 10 watts per string. And I didn't care. I'm just like, I've got all these panels. I'm not going to build a special stand for just these 8-9 panels that I have on top. So I combined them. They're a little bit bigger, and that's why they're kind of offset a little bit. On the top, you can see it's offset so they don't completely line up. But I didn't care. I really didn't. And these unfortunately got damaged. I do need to find more panels. I was hoping to find some more of these Shinsungs, but I haven't been able to. Not that we can really afford to right now. Money is tight. If you know from our other channel, money is tight. These are both broken panels. That's why they're laying here. They're both shattered. I don't exactly know how. I don't remember. Honestly, don't remember how they got busted. But yeah, so these two panels, unfortunately, are gone. I just haven't taken them to the back. But I got a lot of cleaning up to do here, get all this wood out of here. There's a lot of stuff to do. There really is. This is springtime. This is when everything starts getting crazy and hectic, and you try to get all your projects done, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to add some panels to this. I got to now get the weed eater out to start taking care of this. I'd actually kind of like to... I don't know if Danielle's going to like that or not, but I'd actually like to run the tractor as close to that as I possibly can to get everything all dug up. I know the seed is still going to, the grass is still going to eventually make its way over there. But I just need to get all this cleaned up because this is blocking good sun. Now this here, I have not been able to figure out what happened. I don't know if you can see that or not. Something, and I don't know what, hit the panel right there. I don't know if it was a piece of wood. The kids were out here splitting wood, and they they let go of the, I have no idea. So I got to replace that one panel. And you know, that's fine. I'm not quite sure what happened. You can see where it got hit right here in this corner, right down here. So I don't know what happened there. So I got to replace that panel. And like I said, get everything all trimmed up out here so that, well, I can obviously get the maximum amount of solar that I can possibly get. It was nice last week. I ran the air conditioning, the central air, on solar a couple days last week, so it was awesome. It's a little humid right now. It's warming up, but it's going to get real cold again. It's going to get down to like 30 degrees tonight or something. So it's just one of those things. But the stand itself is holding up really, really well. I have no complaints at all with the stand. It's holding up great. So I'm glad that I used the signpost. I'm glad that I used the 4-foot footers. I'm just glad that I built it the way that I did. There's going to be some touch-ups that I'm going to have to do here and there, probably every few years or something, with a board that looks like it might be bowing or something. I don't know, but I don't see any problems right now. It's working great, so I'm very, very happy with it. So at any rate, this is a bunch of projects. I got to get all that wood out of there. It was actually going to be a lot easier to just scoop it up, and then it's got that drop bucket so I can dump it in the trailer. But we're out of gas now. That's fine. I'm going to take all that apart. I think this is pretty well level. It's good enough. You know, that's not even level. It's just there. So the solar stand is level because I took a string and a level and went across all the way across to make sure that it was going to be level. So that's level all the way across, despite the fact that it's doing this. So that worked out pretty good. Yeah, it's nice that it's warm, but unfortunately the early spring bug is going to hit us again, like it always does every year, where it starts getting cold again, and then we finally start to warm up to where we've got consistently warm temperatures. So it's still not as bad as winter. I've got so much stuff to do. I got to get it done. And then we have inverters coming in about a month, so I got to get working on that. There's a lot of work to do. There really is. But, you know, I got to find some more 250 watt panels. But, you know, I remember reaching out to Santan Solar a while back, and they never responded to my eBay questions or anything else like that. It just kind of like, okay, whatever. I guess either no one is there or whatever. But, you know, I just need to get some more. I'd like to get another pallet of 250 watt panels. That would be great. Another 5 kilowatt pallet of 250 watt panels, because I can add another 5 kilowatts to this stand right now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kilowatts right now on this stand here. I can add, I've got room on that end for another 3 kilowatts, and for some reason, I don't know why I designed it this way, but I did. It actually worked out. The edge post here, the corner feet, are not that far from the edge of the first row. And I'm not really sure why I did that, because these signposts are so strong that I could easily come out another row on this side here. So I can add... easily, I can add to this another 4 kilowatts, maybe even 5 kilowatts of solar, easily. It all comes down to the charge controllers and wiring everything in. What I actually found on this particular setup here, even though this is 10 kilowatts, I was getting, even in peak, so peak for me, there's a bird's nest up there. Peak for me would be the sun at a 45, which is right around now. And it would be when the sun is at high noon and the panels are getting hit at just the perfect angle. And I've noticed that the peak, at least according to the charge controllers inside, is roughly per string. I've got 2 boxes, 2 6 kilowatt boxes here, roughly per string, is about 4.5 kilowatts. So I've got 10 kilowatts, and even at its peak, I'm only putting out 4.5 kilowatts. So I can easily add an extra string to this combiner box here. Basically, I'd run 2 strings in parallel. So this combiner box can get 7 kilowatts of solar because it's likely going to push it to about maybe 5.5 kilowatts or so. And 6 kilowatts is the limit. So, and then that one over there, I haven't even filled up all the way. So, got to keep an eye out for snapper turtles. Seriously, now's the time that they come out. So, this one here, I still have two spots left, and this is the same 6 kilowatts. You know, I haven't even opened this since last year. Will it even open? Heck yeah, it will. Man, I got to get them spiders out of there. Although it's not really hurting anything to have the spider in there. That's a dead spider. Must have been there since last year. Anyway, so yeah, I got to get all this cleaned out. I think I'm going to use some silicone or something and seal up that hole. Because that's where they're coming in, is right there, that hole there. Because I didn't mount it using all the holes. I just mounted it using 2 of the holes. Actually, I used this this strut, this unistrut. But anyway, so I have plenty of room here to add at least another 3 kilowatts on this end here, which will work out perfect because it looks like about 2 kilowatts would fit there. But again, same as the other side, I can go out a little bit further. This stand is going to be able to hold the weight without a problem. I promise you that. That's not going to be an issue at all. So I'm going to go ahead. This will be this week's project where I clean all this out, get it all cleaned out. I don't know what the other one looks like. I haven't even looked. I will say that this design here is great, but I started to really appreciate the new design better. Now this is an Ames box. I got comments last year, why are you using the competitors? Well, they make good boxes and we're not in the box market right now. So if you want to assume that because they make good boxes, they make good inverters, then that's obviously your choice. Oh man, I can't even. This top one, for some reason, this one's giving me trouble. I'm pushing it. There we go. All right. Let's see what flies out of this thing. Whew, hasn't been open in a while, I can tell. Nothing's in here, so definitely a better a better design, which makes sense because the mounts are on the outside versus going through. So I actually do like this setup better. Now this is 125 amps, or at least that's what it's rated for, 125 amps with 30 amps per string. On these here is the maximum. I really do like this. I do. I like this setup. So I'm definitely going to be buying more of these, that's for sure. We're not in the market for combiner boxes, so if you need a good combiner box, this Ames combiner box is actually pretty good. Here's the ratings and the numbers and so on. It's actually a pretty good combiner box. So if I can get it shut, I don't even know where the key's at for it, but at any rate, so that's a nice combiner box. I do like it. So I think that's pretty much about it for today. It looks like the sun might be peeking through a little bit, but like I said, it's supposed to. There it is up there. It's supposed to storm, so we're gonna get it. And there's my brush. That's my solar brush. Boy, the chickens absolutely love it when you dig up new dirt. They love looking for stuff underneath that they can't get normally. So yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. I got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm hoping, really hoping, that I can get some more panels here pretty soon. And hey, if you're not using panels, I try to find them locally if I can, but if you got extra panels you're not using, let me know. 250 watt panels. I don't want to go crazy and get like 200 watt panels and 220s and have the voltages way off and then it really be screwed up. So if you got any 250 watt panels, then let me know. That's nice. I can't wait to add more solar to this. Like I said, at least another 4 kilowatts, maybe 5 on top of this. And I can get another 2.5 kilowatts on this run here. And I think I should be all set. So yeah, I got some cleaning up to do. The ticks are really bad already. So I've already found a whole bunch of them on me, which is expected. But they're really bad right now. I gotta get a shovel and get all this out of here so I can start putting some more panels up. But that'll be a tomorrow or Tuesday project or something. So Got work to do. All right. Well, everybody, I hope you had a great last week. I did. So we'll catch you in the next video. Take care.